What's up, YouTube? Welcome to part 4 of our Zendikar Rising set review. I'm Ethan. I'm joined by Alex Nikolic from the Limited Level Ups podcast. We're going to be starting with Black here, looking at commons, uncommons, and rares, and within each of those sorted by CMC, not rarity. So we're looking at Blood Beckoning first. Single black for a sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If this spell is kicked instead, return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand instead.
Right, so I like this card. It's baseline utility. Just buy back 2 cards or 1 card if you have a very important card in the grave. But I do think that past that, just seeing where this card belongs, is I can see this being like a common splash in your green-blue kicker decks. I think buying back a kicker card is pretty powerful, especially if that card buys back another kicker card itself. This combos with the Sapperling or whatever. What is it? Marasa. I don't know, the 3/3 that buys back a kicker card. You loop that, right?
That's pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think that this card is probably a little bit better than it looks, just because a lot of the cards in the set do have kind of value-ish ETB effects. Also can play well in like a red-black grindy deck, which I would never play one of those myself. But for those other people who like red-black out there, belongs there. And I don't know, the rate on this card is fine. Right.
I actually really like that the time, like the awkward thing about Soul Salvage or when these are 4 mana to get back 2 things is the times when you don't have 2 things you want to get back.
Yeah.
And so the times when you get to just go like, all right, 1 mana get back a thing and probably replay it is kind of nice.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that flexibility is good. I'm generally high on these effects. Like I like one of these in most of my black decks. I think I'm gonna start C minus. I think on this.
Seems good to me. Yeah. I agree. I could see it just at C, honestly.
Yeah.
It depends on the speed of the format, I think.
You just like can't load up on that effect though. Like I don't think like there are going to be maybe some small amount of decks that want to, but most do not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna there's gonna be decks where you're like, oh, I know I want 2 of these, right? But those aren't gonna be common. All right. So next up we have Expedition Skulker. So this is 1 in a black for a vampire rogue. It's a 2/2. When Expedition Skulker has Death Touch as long as you control another rogue.
Sure, this is fine.
Hey, combos to my little 1/1 there, right?
What combos with your little 1/1?
The combo is that you attack into a 2/2, right? You give their creature -2.
Oh, Alex.
Or 3/3. You attack into a 3/3. Huh? All right. So, anyways, this card's decent. This card's quite good, right? It's just like a very solid 2-drop for the rogue deck.
I'm not that high on it. Should I be high on it?
I mean, I'm not like, I think it's a C, but I think you're quite happy to have this.
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Like the difference between this,
it's tough because again, it's like, I want this in blue black. Where do I don't want it anywhere else, do I? The rogues feel weird to me. So far, the rogues feel like they really like themselves, and they play less well with others than. Maybe that's not true. The wizard, they're all sort of a little
self-contained.
I think it's gonna be interesting finding the ones that are gonna be good in that overlap of good in a party deck and good in a tribal deck.
Right. Yeah, and
I'm not sure Skulker fits that bill for me, but maybe it should.
I think in the decks you're going to play this card, it's going to be better. It's going to be better than the 1 mana 1/1 in green, right?
The 1 mana 1.
The Death Touch one. Like you can actually attack with this for considerable.
I can't take this. You're hyping up the blue 1/1. You're hating on my green 1/1. I just can't do it. It's too upsetting.
Ethan, put them in the arena. Who wins, the green one or the blue one?
Depends which turn.
You like a C on this one?
I think C's fine. Yeah. I don't know why we're talking so much about this card.
It's the banter. Banter.
Feed the Swarm is 1 in a black for a sorcery. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost.
Yeah, this one's a tricky one. So you can't load up on these, but it is catch-all.
Black has so much removal.
Yeah, it does.
There's 4 common removal spells.
And so does red, actually. When you, it's pretty wild. I think so I think you're always gonna play the first copy, for sure. I think if you're like a life gain cleric deck where you're gaining 8 life over the course of the game, you're definitely gonna play the second. Gets a bit dicey past that though, right? Even in like an aggro deck, ostensibly, where you don't care as much about the life loss. If you get a 4-drop out of the way, your opponent can race you very quickly, right? Like you kill their 4-drop, they play a 5 or something. Like you're down to like 12 or whatever. I don't know. It's not. You can't just be like, oh, my aggro deck doesn't care about my life total. It's gonna have diminishing returns at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think the first copy is a B-.
Wow.
I think so. Like,
Yeah.
not only does it get creatures, but this is the Black's first ever targeted enchantment removal spell. So you randomly get to get those removal spells. The
That's
knock
true.
off the bubble or whatever it is.
Yeah, bubble snare. Yeah. Yeah.
The
okay.
question is, what do you like past that? It's like it goes into like a C.
It just depends on how much life gain you have and how much other
Exactly.
removal you
Yeah,
have, I
it's
think.
very contextual, but I'm gonna give the first one a B-.
Okay, I'm down. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go C plus. I don't think this is gonna pull you into black. I think there are gonna be better.
Just better things. Like
Better
you're probably
things.
gonna want to take the first copy of whatever the other black removal spells.
There's like
over
the catch-all black removal. There's gonna be vanquish the weak. There's the +1/+1 and -1/-1 one. I think those all might be higher picks than this. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel that.
We got Ghastly Gloom Hunter, 1 in a black for a 1/1 zombie bat with flying and lifelink, and as kicker 3 in a black. And if it was kicked, it comes into play with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. No types.
Yeah, no types. Awkward on both ends. I mean, counters.
That's good counters. I don't know. 2 mana 1/1 flying lifelink, I think, is good. It's good.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
It wears equipment very well.
It does. I just don't know. Yeah. And there's a few like Black Red Party has the equipment. There's the black equipment, just mono black equipment. Yeah. Okay. And if you ever go like just this and do like put a counter on it somehow, like then you're doing like all you have to do is get to 2 power and it's quite good.
And again,
right?
and like you top deck it, and it's a 6 mana 3/3 lifelink flying, and that's good too. Like I think this is a C.
I just don't know how much room we're gonna have for this card. You know what I mean? Like if you have a focused rogue deck or whatever, you're not gonna take this card as a C. Like a baseline, sure, it's like it's a C, but I don't know how often it's gonna make my deck.
Right. I think that's fair.
Yeah, like, I do like I probably would go C- myself, but I think
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for you
sorry,
yourself,
yes.
Alex.
I would take it. Yes, I would take it as a C-.
C-. Okay, great.
All right, next up we have Malachi Blood Priest. This is 2 in a black for a 2/1 vampire cleric. When Malachi Blood Priest enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures in your party.
Okay, so 2 mana 2/1 types.
ETBs
drains at least 1. In a cleric deck, that's generally what it's gonna do.
Yeah, and you care about just instances of gaining life,
Care
right?
about clerics and gaining life, and then in a black red party deck, this could just be like some chunks of damage.
Yeah, especially if you rebuy it, right? Like,
And that has the potential of like good on turn 2, and then when you top deck it, it just comes into play and drains for 3.
I think so. Let me think. Does each party have like a premium 2-drop? So this one, Clerics has this one and the white one, the visual lifelink one too, right? Wizards, we haven't seen red yet. I don't know.
Green has the warrior 2, the 2-drop that puts a +1/+1 counter.
Right.
I mean, yeah, white's got warriors. I'm sure red will have warriors. Blue must have had some. Blue's got some whizzies. The Gitu Chronicler variant.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is fine, right?
I think this is a C.
Yeah. It's gonna be C+ in your deck. Like, yes, it's so hard because so many of these cards are gonna play like C+ when you play them, right? But yeah, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm. Oblivion's Hunger is 1 in a black for an instant. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Draw a card if that creature has a +1/+1 counter on it.
Interesting.
I mean, the times when this is a 2-for-1, it's gonna feel real bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. My green black counters grindy deck does not want this card.
Yeah, I'm not personally a huge fan of this one. I think I'd probably just give it a D+. Like,
I'm gonna go D. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great on like we've had these effects before. Like indestructible black spell that gives a minor upside. Now this is a good upside, but it's conditional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give it a D. I think that you're not going to be playing this one all that often.
Not giving this a D. Subtle Strike.
Subtle Strike is back, baby. So this is 1 in a black for an instant. Choose one or both. Target creature gets -1 until end of turn, or put a +1/+1 counter on target creature.
This card is insane.
It's sneaky good. It's very sneaky.
What's sneaky about it?
Well, I think the first time we saw it, it didn't look that great.
I don't remember what set this was in.
Kaladesh, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And I think if you're looking at this card for the first time, it looks kind of just like a combat trick, and it plays much better than that, right?
The floor is a combat trick. The ceiling is
Is a savage.
Kills 2 creatures,
and then your creature is bigger, right? Plus the counter synergies. Yeah, C+ on this one.
Yeah, I think
it's hard because it still does kind of play the combat trick hero. There's a lot of X1s in this set too.
I think this preys on X1s and is one of the big reasons that I'm wary of them in the format on the whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think that there's enough X1s running around that you're going to get, a card's worth of value out of this more times than not. So
At least, yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for this.
Guldra's Mucklord. 2 in a black for a 2/3 croc. When it dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Meh.
Another similar Kaladesh. And there's the 3/2 version of this.
Right, we've seen that a lot. The Spinal Centipede.
Yeah,
Spinal
Centipede.
These 3 mana black creatures that die and
totally fine, right? Like C, solid C.
I think this is worse than a C.
Yeah, you get 3 powers probably.
I think it's like C-, maybe even D+ territory. I think it's gross.
Whoa.
I don't think if you're like worried about thinking that what do I care about the 2 mana flying lifelink because it doesn't have types? Like, what deck cares about this? Come on.
Yeah, like your ultra +1/+1 synergy deck. All right, yeah.
In your Crocodile Matters deck.
Yeah. I'll go C+ on this one.
C+?
I think so. Do you want to give it a D?
So you said C+.
Sorry, C+. Yeah. Oh, sorry. My gosh.
Alex.
You confirmed, and I said yes.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kept asking.
Of course.
Yeah, I think this is a D+.
You're hearing check. Jeez. All right. Next up here, we got Hagra Constrictor. So this is 2 in a black for a snake. Hagra Constrictor enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Malachi. That's fine. It's okay. I mean,
I guess like a synergy C-.
So there's going to be a lot of times that this comes down, like, I think you're going to be scared of this card on turn 5 or 6 or whatever, Like, you think about what attacks you want to make for the turn, and then you think, well, if my opponent has Constrictor, like, this is very, very bad for me, right? Like, the Lord effect is pretty nice.
Sure.
Like, it's more of a Lord than the body, for sure.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. I'm not
sold.
A little skeptical on this green-black +1/+1 counters deck.
So like I said, I kind of was before too. I think there's enough there to make a deck work.
But is this the thing you want?
Is this the thing? Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna give it a C. Because I think it's reasonable. But I don't know.
Next up, Namana Skydancer. 2 in a black for a 2/1 human rogue, flash flying. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent mills 2 cards. Yes, please.
You're not afraid of the X1 H on this one?
I mean, obviously I am, but like it says this is flying, good types.
Yeah. Gets the mill in, his flash. Yeah, it plays well with all your cards that have flash.
This card is really good, I think.
That's a lot. I mean, you're not getting higher than a C, are you?
I was thinking about going C+.
C+. No, I think it's like it does a lot of. We've seen this a lot actually. Just like in this set, there's so many cards that do like a lot of little things, right? That like might just add it up to a C+. I think this is a. I don't think I go higher than this C on this one. Like you're not saying this is a C+.
I think I am.
Okay, if you want.
This feels very gluey. Yeah, like. Someone's asking, is this Forbidden Friendship? I mean, no, but it does feel gluey in that sense. Like, this feels like that kind of card that's like a really good overlap of, I like it with my rogues, I like it in my, like, it's still just like an evasive threat, I like it in my party matters, it wears equipment well because it's evasive. Yeah, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It just seems like a little bit too meh to me, but I do like it. Yeah. All right.
What's up
Next up, we
next
got
here?
Marauding Blight Priest. This is 2 and a black for a vampire cleric, and it is a 3/2. And it says whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life.
Oh boy, this cleric deck looks
I know.
good
Yeah,
to
it
me,
looks-
buddy. There's a lot of support at common for this deck.
There's a lot of support at like maybe it's just the order we've seen things in, but it seems like more than
Gloober?
other decks. Yes, I agree. Yes,
The Gloober order.
like if not, okay. There's probably not more support than the other archetypes, but it seems like the payoffs are better, or at least the enablers like are better, right? Like a lot of these other decks, I'm like, I might want to play that card if we get there on the synergy, but a lot of these are just like, all right, this is fine, and then we get a little nice upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. I mean, again, I think I just like this is solid C. Solid C to C plus in a cleric deck.
Also nice that this one, like, it there's you don't even have to be black white, right? Like it could be black red. There's just like self-contained black life gain, right? So even there, yeah. I like C plus on this one.
You going C plus?
Yeah.
See, I think I like the flyer more than that.
It's got types.
The flying rogue, I think, is better than that one.
I think they're very close. Like they feel they have a very similar vibe to me. Where like in the deck you want them, they're going to be very good.
But one you're giving a C and one you're giving a C plus. It just seems rude.
Yeah.
It just seems rude to me. Mind Drain. This is 2 and a black for a sorcery. It's mind rot. Target opponent discards 2 cards, but they also mill a card and lose a life, and you gain a life.
Ugh, so much. How far are they going to go before they make us put mind rot in our deck, Ethan?
I think I'm playing this in a rogue deck, sadly.
And in your priest deck because it has life gain?
No, I don't think I think I care much more about getting 3 of the 8 cards in their graveyard than I care about the little incidental drain.
I don't think you're ever going to play this card. I think very, very rarely.
Yeah, no, I think I will. Me or just one? a human.
the royal we.
The royal we.
I don't think you're gonna play this card all that often.
Yeah, it's like a deep. Like I would like normally say that Mind Route is just a sideboard card, and I don't think that's the case. For
right.
This.
So you think it's gonna be like a D plus?
I think it's a D plus. I think there are gonna be times. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe like the times when I have the good rogue decks are the times when I don't need an effect like this because I have a good rogue deck. You know. Mm-hmm. So then maybe this card is just bad.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Next up, we have Highborn Vampire.
Oh no! We got a couple.
We got a nice one.
Yeah, we got a good one here.
We got Vanquish the Weak.
Yeah.
This is 2 and a black for an instant. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less.
3 or less. Yeah.
Yeah. This has always been pretty darn good. Right?
This is great. This kills a lot, especially with like stuff. If there's a lot of stuff that's like I'm small, and then for a turn I'm big because of landfall. Like yeah, this card's good. This is a B minus, I think.
Yeah, I think so. B minus.
Next up is Blood Price, 3 and a black for a sorcery. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. You lose 2 life.
So it's what's it called? Dark Bargain?
But it doesn't put cards in your yard. So I guess
and also a sorcery?
To not help out your opposing rogue decks.
True. It's also a sorcery. Again, this is got the divination feel to it, where it's like.
But it's 4 mana and not flexible. Like I don't know. You lose 2 life. I don't like that. I'm gonna go D plus on Blood Price.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we even had this in Ikoria. Even we had Dark Bargain, I think, and like we never played that card, right? We played it in what's it called in Dominaria because that was a slower format. But I don't think we're gonna play it here.
Nope, I agree. All right, now we're talking about Highborn Vampire.
Okay. So, Highborn Vampire, 3 and a black for a Vampire Warrior. It is a 4/3 with a pretty little story attached.
Yeah. No, I mean, and whatever. C minus, D plus.
Yeah, it's fine stats. It's you're gonna want this some amount of the time. Probably even not though, because it's a warrior, and you don't really want black warriors all that often. I guess in like black red.
In black red party.
Sure, but
meh. Indeed.
Yeah, very
Namana Skitter Sneak, 3 and a black for a 3/4 human rogue. As long as I was like, where's the human in the art? It's like a giant rat or something. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, it gets +1/+0 and has menace. That's a good little bonus there.
Yeah, that's nice. It comes down, it blocks.
And also, 4 mana 3/4 is just fine.
Attacks for 4 when it's on. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Don't think it's quite a C+, but again, it's now we get to the 4 and 5 mana range. Is it junk or is it better than junk? It's better than junk, right?
Better than junk, I think.
Yeah, better than junk is called. Okay.
And this is definitely better than junk. Deadly Alliance.
Deadly Alliance. So they got an instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. And I said that they're adding all this planeswalker, these riders.
Yeah, this is. Probably the best common in the set.
Yeah, I mean,
if we're assuming that 2 is the reduction here, this is splashable murder.
Right, yeah, that is true. Okay, yeah, so this is what, a B+? Because sometimes it's giving you 1 mana, right? Like,
the times when it's 1 mana.
2 mana, 2 mana.
2 mana is pretty crazy. I think B, this could be B+. Like, the difference there, I don't think is that important. Yeah.
Right. I think that... Yeah, I mean, we've said all there is to say about Party, I think, at this point. So we can just, mosey on through these ones. But I think, I agree. I think this is, my front runner for best common.
I mean, maybe the Red Bolt is better. I don't know.
Potentially. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. What's up next?
Dreadworm. 4 and black for a 5/4 worm horror with landfall indestructible. Is it junk or is it better than junk? I think it is probably just junk.
It's got that Rage-Scarred Berserker feel from Theros, where that card ended up being a decent top end card in your black deck.
That's fair. I mean, this is just Chump City.
yeah, they got Chump. It's 5. 5's a lot. I mean, yeah, I think it is better than junk, but again, it's gonna be
C-.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
a lot of next up on the Theros comparisons here. We got Drana Scion.
Oh yeah.
5 and a black for a 3/2 Vampire Rogue. When Drana Scion enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures in your party. Yeah. So remember the conversation we had way back when in Theros, and we said, well, there's a few worlds that Brave Breath Catablipus could live in. It could be, format's too fast. We don't even really want to play this card. It could be you want to play 1 as the top end of your black decks, or we could just want to play 3 because it's just so good. We said that the last one was unlikely, and it ended up being the world we lived in. What do you think the world for Drana Silencer is going to be? Probably not that world.
It's probably not that world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, it's just tough because in a dedicated rogue deck, which I think it feels like we're going to have, though. We're going to have tribal decks here. This is not good.
No. This is a party card. This is a black-red card for the most part. Right?
So it's a black-red-gold card for the most part, or a really great splash in a multicolor green deck, which I think it definitely could be.
I think the world we're living in with this card is you're going to want to play 1.
Okay.
Maybe you play 2. Maybe this card is just, if we're assuming 2, right?
You just don't need to take this high.
No, you don't, but you took Blight Breath high, though.
Yeah, I know, but this is why I don't know why we're making that comparison.
I know it's not. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. I'm gonna
go C.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. All right. First up in the uncommons here is Blood Chief's Thirst, single black for a sorcery with kicker 2 and a black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with CMC 2 or less. If this spell was kicked, instead destroy target creature or planeswalker.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. This is just fantastic, right? Pick off a 2-drop or pick off anything for 4 mana.
Yeah.
Card's just like a B+, right? The flexibility here is amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's
why
really
does black just get it? This feels the black OP cards feels Theros-y, right? So far to me.
Yeah. This card's just very good. And again, good splash. It's not the best splash in your green or blue decks because it's double black for kicker, but even still, very good. All right, next one we have Malachi Rebirth. This is a single black mana for an instant. Choose target creature. You lose 2 life. All right. Until end of turn, that creature gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, and It's got to land on the backside.
Yeah.
I tend to like these cards, actually. This is definitely like not supernatural stamina or the 2-mana version we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But like we've seen a lot of enter the battlefield kind of triggers on these black cards. I like this card a decent amount. Like, there's not I don't need to explain the whole land thing again, but I think this is like I don't know. I want to give it maybe B-. What do you think?
I'm gonna go C+. But
Yeah,
I agree with you. Like,
it's definitely more
this feels
traditional.
very similar to the white one. The like target creature gets protection from the color of your choice.
Right, yeah.
I understand like you're rebuying ETB effect sometimes when stuff dies that the white one doesn't, but I think it feels similar enough to me.
Yep, I agree.
Mind Carver, single black for an equipment. When it enters the battlefield, you auto equip it. It gets plus and so it gets +3/+1 instead as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, and the equip cost is 2 and a black.
That's a big stat boost.
Yeah.
That clocks hard.
But this again, you gotta play this in a rogue deck.
Of course. Yeah.
So I think this is like synergy C+, synergy B-.
Yeah, I think I'd give it a B-. It's like a lot of the rogues have menace or fly, right? So like 3 on that is great. And even if they don't, like 3 and 1 is gonna be hard to interact with in combat with.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I like B- on that. Right, next up here, we have our little friend here, Acquisitions Expert. So this is 1 in a black for a human rogue. It's a 1/2. It says when Acquisitions Expert enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to the number of creatures in your party. Choose one of those cards. That player discards that card.
I think this card's great.
Yeah, it's baseline Burglar Rat with upside.
With rogue. With pretty huge upside.
Yeah, but it's a 1/2 first of all, and it's a
1/2 with types.
1/2 with types. Yeah, and Burglar Rogue, Burglar Rat was like a C, right?
Yeah.
Like you just play that card. Yeah, this one's good. C+?
C+, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was thinking about the B- stuff. But... Ooh, this next one's so strange.
I know. Lithiform Blight is 1 in the black for an aura enchant land. When it ETBs, you draw a card, and enchanted land loses all land types and abilities and has tap, add colorless, or tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color.
I just don't understand the home for this one.
Green, black, multicolor party?
I get
right.
I'll just name all the set mechanics. Green back, multicolor, party, landfall.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. But like, I think this is a good card. I think.
Is it? So like, I guess if you're in a deck that wants like, I guess.
You're just acting like splashing is never something you're interested in.
No. That's not true at all. I just think like your base black decks, it doesn't seem that common. Oh, you're just saying like a powerful one of card.
Right. Like it's just like I'm not talking about doing a multicolored black Fitz deck. I'm just like, oh, like I opened a bomb that I want to splash and I'm in black red and
right.
So now I get to do this and 2 basics rather than completely destroy my mana base.
Right. It's urban utopia basically, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah, which is fine. So I don't know. C- on this?
Yeah, I think you yes, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Next up here we got Black Bloom Rogue. So this is a 2/3 human rogue for 2/3 human rogue for 3 mana, 2 in a black. Has menace, and it says Black Bloom Rogue gets +3/+0 as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. And this one surprised me. This one is a land. Like this one looks like it could stand on its own and just be a decent card.
Right.
Like I would not be shocked if this was just a fine uncommon. You know what I mean? But also a double-faced card.
Right. So you just like count this as a spell in your deck, and then the times when you just like draw a hand that's like 1 land and this, and you're like, great.
Yeah, fantastic.
B+? Like.
Yeah, I want to get B+. I will go with B+. Yeah.
Demon's Disciple is 2 in a black for a 3/1 human cleric. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Now we're talking with these 1-drops, baby.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I really don't. I don't like these effects, and
No,
I also
me
don't
neither.
really see a lot of support for it.
Yeah, it's like White doesn't have many tokens. Has a few, but
Yeah.
these cards are generally not great.
And it's an X1, which is also.
I feel like the community overrated these cards for such a long time. I feel like for so long it was like, yeah, these are just good cards, and then all of a sudden we decided they were just bad. And I don't think it's not bad, but it's like a C, right?
Right. I mean, I guess you curve Burglar Rat into this.
Sure, that's nice.
It's nice.
It is a cleric.
You can do better. I think this is like a C-.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that. Okay. All right, next up here we got Malachi Predation. This is 2 in black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card from it with convert mana cost 3 or greater. That player discards that card and double face card, baby. Land on the backside.
So good.
Yeah. This was also pretty nice. So
I mean, this is bad in the sense that it's not a good top deck. In the way that, like, the red 4/5 trample is or whatever.
Right.
But this is
also.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna also kind of interesting because maybe like some of the expensive cards, quote unquote, aren't actually gonna be expensive. I guess 3 hits a lot of things, but I was thinking kicker, like you're not gonna be able to take some of their more expensive cards they're gonna want to kick later. But 3 and up is still a lot.
Yeah. B minus.
B minus. Yeah, my gut says B minus on this one.
I want to play with these cards so bad. Okay, Shadow Stinger. I like this one. 2 in a black for a 1/4 Vampire Rogue. Tap another untapped rogue you control. Shadow Stinger gains Death Touch until end of turn. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player mills 3 cards, baby.
Yeah, this is solid. Nice little blocker. Nice little rogue.
The thing about this is like you are often not gonna have to tap another rogue when you attack.
Right.
This. Like,
right.
Because
your
opponent, what are they gonna? Unless they have a 4/4, like.
Right. It's not like the blue one where you have to attack. Like this is threat of activation, right? Like that's really nice.
Yeah, this is great. There's some stuff happening in chat about how like you would just play a land instead of the modal double face cards, but that's the beauty of those cards, right? Is that you are playing a land when you play that card in your deck. Anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I would go C+ here. Is this B- territory?
I think it's just C+. Like at a certain point, this does become a little bit more dead. Like not dead, but
yeah,
draws in turn 5. It's like, all right. I guess they would like put a 4-power creature in front of it. It's pretty brutal, but
sure.
Anyways, next one up, we got Sky Cleaves Shadow Cat. This is a 3 in a black for a 3/3 cat horror. It has 2 mana, 1 in a black. Sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Sky Cleaves Shadow Cat, and it also has whenever a creature you control with +1/+1 counter dies, draw a card.
I guess.
Are you not amused?
I'm not amused. I don't know. I'm a little out on the +1/+1 counter stuff, which is kind of sad.
So interesting. What gives you that feel?
I don't know.
It's these low power comments.
They seem low power, and a lot of the stuff doesn't have the party matter stuff, and so maybe your just green black deck just like specifically doesn't care about that. But that feels like you're giving up on a lot of what the format is giving you, you know? And so then I have this weird tension where I'm running a bunch of like cats and bats and beasts.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it feels very... Maybe this isn't fair to make a comparison, but the +1/+1 counter stuff kind of feels like mutatey to me.
In the sense that it's just like worse than the other things you could be doing.
Unless you're just like the one person doing it, you know?
Yeah. It feels like... So, my thought on the deck when I first looked at it was that it feels like the deck that you get pushed into if you're not being an assertive enough drafter. If you're not going after the good archetypes, you know? Like, if let's say Clerics ends up being really good. Like, if you're trying to read the signals at the table the entire draft, and, say there's like 3 top archetypes, and you're not being pushy enough trying to get into those archetypes, then you end up in green black, right?
Yes.
Like, so I don't know. I think it has legs. I think you're gonna get nuts green black decks some amount of the time. Now in those decks, is this card good? Probably.
Yeah. Whenever a creature with a +1/+1 counter dies, you draw a card. That's very good.
Right. Yeah. All right. I like C+ for this.
It's got to be build around, right? Or synergy or not.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you're not playing this. This is not a good card at all if you don't have any.
This is like a green, black, gold card.
Yeah, you can end up in black decks that just have counters though. Like I think black, white, or something. Like white's gonna have counters too.
Maybe I'm underrating.
Yeah, I think white. Like think about it that way, right? White has some counters as well.
Yeah, I guess.
all right.
I don't think I want to put this in my black white deck.
Yeah, that's fair. It is a sack outlet, and that matters for whatever reasons. Anyways,
sure.
We'll move on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll move on for this one.
Scion of the Swarm is up next. What is this?
This is a 3 black and a vampire cleric. It's a 3/3 flyer, and so whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Scion of the Swarms.
Jesus, that's powerful.
Why is it a bug? Why is this vampire like a bug? That's weird. Anyways,
that is very weird.
This is good. Yeah, so we had like a similar card in battle for Zendikar, but it was a 3/3 for 4 mana. Didn't have flying. Flying adds a lot to this card.
Yeah, this is great. I think.
Yeah, this is quite good. This gets out of hand real fast.
Yeah, this is a B. B plus B.
Yeah, I'd give it a B. B plus is a little high for me, I think. Yeah, I'd give it a B.
B sounds good. I am so excited about this card.
Yeah, this card's wild. I had to reread this multiple times.
The Worth the Grave is 4 black for a sorcery. It costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. And then you can return target creature card and up to 1 target cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard creature card from
to your hand,
your graveyard.
Right? To the battlefield. Wow, yeah. That's wild. That's such a good rate for this card.
So it costs less than 6 for your creatures. Let's assume it costs, even if it's just 5. Then you're zombifying 2 creatures?
Yeah, that is wild. It's what's it called? Ever After? Better? It's like cheaper.
Is so good.
You're very rarely not going to have one of these creature types, right?
Correct.
Even if, like, let's assume our 2-point discount here. It's even then it's just zombify if you don't have one of those, right?
Yeah.
Like that's cheaper than we usually get this effect for. That being said, like I guess if we're playing like a grindy value game, this is just kind of backbreaking.
Yeah.
I don't know, B? I think B on this one.
I think B is good.
Yeah, I don't want to give it too high of a grade, but
B seems pretty high.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, and our last black uncommon here, we got Zoff Consumption. This is 4 black for a sorcery. Each opponent loses 4 life, and you gain 4 life. And the backside is a land, of course. I like this one a lot. Yeah, this is very similar to Absorb
Viz.
Yeah. Very similar card. This effect looks worse than it is. Right? Like, just like... It looks not great on its front side.
But wait, so it looks worse? Oh, look, it looks worse than it is. Plays better than it looks, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
This is great.
B? B minus, maybe?
I think B.
Yeah.
Black seems insane to me.
Yeah, black, but I didn't peg black as like a standout color at first, but yeah, the black looks very, very good.
Our first rare here is Null Priest of Oblivion, 1 on a black for a 2/1 vampire cleric with menace and lifelink. As kicker 3 on a black when it enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Wild. So it's already just a good rate on its own. It's a cleric. It's a menacing lifelinker. So that's gonna get in for a few points on its own, right? Just lifelinking points. It's gonna be pretty hard for opponent to like they have to leave back some stuff, right? And if you're like, I don't know, maybe you put this in your rogue deck, right? And you have more tempo-y stuff like that to leave back a lot of things. You get your blocker out of the way, and all that aside, front side being decent. You also just get to kick it to reanimate a card. Like,
this is a B,
so good.
B plus, I think.
Yes, I think B plus. Love it. All right, our next one here is we got it. Sky Cleave Shade. Oh, sorry, Scourge of the Sky Cleaves, not that one. 1 on a black for a demon. It's an XX. It's got a kicker for 5 mana. When you cast this spell, if it was kicked, each player loses half their life rounded up. Okay. Scourge of the Sky Cleaves power and toughness are equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. This is just great, isn't it?
So it's an uncastable 2-drop, generally.
Generally, yeah. But on turn 4, turn 3, this is gonna be a 3/3 or 4/4. And then I guess against like any life gain, it's pretty annoying, right?
Or if you're on the draw, like, so then it's a 7 mana. Each player loses half their life rounded up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just I think I'm out on this card. It has no.
You're straight out.
I think so. I think the floor of an uncastable 2-drop is not something I'm interested in putting in my deck.
I don't think it's going to be uncastable in many situations, though.
I mean, you're acting like you've never played a game where you're on the draw and your opponent, and you just have to be like, cool, I'm not attacking until turn 5 or whatever.
But your opponent attacks you. Oh, but then you're
minus
you're
the
funny.
highest
Yeah, gotcha.
life
Gotcha.
total.
Yeah.
So if your opponent's still at 20,
click, yeah.
This is a 0/0.
Yeah, good point.
I think I'm out.
Good point. Yeah, all right, I'm out too. Yeah,
This is an F, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna play like an F every game, is the thing, right? So it's hard to really value it and just put a grade on it, right?
I feel as a content creator, I think it is my responsibility to say this card is an F, and you will win more games when you do not put this card in your deck.
See, I think it's my responsibility as a content creator to talk about the times when it's good. I don't know. Yeah, I'm mostly on board with you.
I don't understand. We have folks in chat being like, you can build around it. What?
Just put
a 2-mana 2/2 in your deck.
I mean, it can be Tarmogoyf, right?
Yeah, great. Can we move on?
Yeah, we can. So I'll give it a D.
Great.
But,
Alex is giving it a D.
Yeah, we can definitely move on. All right, what's up next?
Sky Cleaves Shade is 1 and a black for a 3/1 with kicker 2 and a black. It can't block. If it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. It has landfall. If Sky Cleaves Shade is in your graveyard and it's your turn, you may cast it from your graveyard this turn.
Powerful. This is pretty nice.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. It's very powerful if you're a beatdown deck.
Yeah.
It's got like Scrappy Scrounger vibes.
Yeah, I mean, like in any aggressive black deck, I just love this.
Just trying to think about how aggressive black is going to be, though.
It has so much removal that it doesn't, and cleric-y stuff,
and
+1/+1 countery stuff. So that's a good question. It's basically, is it a secret blue-black card?
Yeah, it's true. Even like you said though, even if it's not, it's still very, very good. Like,
I mean, even if like the rest of your deck is like, I'm chilling, and then you're like, I have a recursive 5/3 in the mid to late game that attacks you. Like, I don't know. This card I think is very
B-.
powerful. Yeah, I think B-.
Yeah, it's quite good. Like the turns when you're trying to be. If you're a defensive deck, right, like think about trying to deal with this card. It's going to be very hard. I mean, there's the enchantment removal spells, of course, but it's going to be quite hard if you're just like on stuff that, that puts it in the grave. It's just always coming back and bigger each time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Next up, we got Inscription of Ruins. This is 2 black for a sorcery. It's got kicker for 2 black, so 4 mana.
Oh, we're got to do
Oh, sorry.
Agadeem's
I missed the mythics. My bad. Agadeem's Awakening. So it's X black for a sorcery. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creatures that each have different career mana costs, X or less, and then it's a land on the backside. Oof! Wow. That's great.
Very powerful. So that means if I cast this for like 7, I can return like a 4, a 3, and a 2-drop?
Yes. 100%.
Cool.
Wow. This is great.
Yeah,
this might be the best we've seen.
This is an A.
Maybe the light one's better, but
A-.
Yeah, this is an A- for sure. At least an A-.
So,
and this is, of course, the mythic one, so it's worth noting that
it's a bolt land, yeah.
It's a bolt land, yeah. All right, yeah, I do like that one.
Now we've got Inscription Rune, 2 and a black for a sorcery, kicker 2 black. Choose one. If this spell was kicked, choose any number instead. Target opponent discards 2 cards, so Mind Rot. Return target creature card with so much returning. It's CMC 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Destroy target creature with CMC 3 or less.
This one's less good.
Yeah, because this isn't something that feels like I want to do. Like, if I kick this, these 3 effects are not that great in the late game.
No, yeah, exactly. In the late game, like, yeah, you'll get something. You'll probably get something back, but the discard's probably dead by then, right? Like, maybe you get a card.
Right.
Yeah, maybe your opponent's drawing a bunch of cards, but then at that point, like, you're probably not getting, like, the last 2 cards out of their hand or anything, right?
But again, this is very
flexible, right? Like,
these 3 modes are good.
Yeah.
This is a charm or whatever. It's still a very good card.
You're probably not kicking this one most of the time.
Right.
It's just a charm. Yeah, it's just a very good charm.
So I'd say that's still a B.
Yeah. I like that a lot. All right. Next up here.
Here's Tarmogoyf.
Here's a goodie. Nighthawk Scavenger. So this is 1 black for a vampire rogue. It is a 1+X 3. So it's got 3 toughness and its power box is 1+ star. It has flying, death touch, and lifelink. It says Nighthawk Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyards. Whoa. So yeah, I mean, not hard for this to be a 2/3 flyer. Not hard for this to be a 3/3 flyer. Vampire Nighthawk on its own, this card, but it's a 2/3. That's just a great limited card. Just like one of the all-time best. Like, if you're looking at a Quadrant Theory All-Star, Vampire Nighthawk, right? It just trades anything, good in a race, good on attacks, gains of life, anything you like, right? This one's better for the most part. I mean, I'd give Vampire Nighthawk a B.
This is a rogue.
It's a rogue.
Holy crap, rogue, baby. Yeah, this is a B.
Yeah, I think so. B plus maybe. Think B plus?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick B. I think.
All right. I like B plus in that, but not.
In case we need some more removal here with Soul Shatter, 2 and a black for instant. Each opponent sacks a creature or planeswalker with the highest CMC cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control.
So
probably on average worse than like the uncommon one with Kicker. Just because sometimes their most expensive thing isn't the thing you want to kill.
Right. This effect is usually okay though. Like we've seen this once before.
This was like there was what's maybe
Scourge here, right?
I was thinking about the Mardu.
Crackling Doom.
But that was greatest power, I think, not greatest CMC.
True.
Right? Which I don't know how functionally different that is or what, if one is better than the other, but just that is different.
Yeah, I mean, probably on average, like, I don't know, C+, B-.
I think this is still a B for me.
Okay, yeah, I think it's fine. I think just the fact that you can't target a specific, like, you can't get a creature out of the way a lot of the time. I guess you could still, yeah. I'll go with you on B.
Okay.
All right, we got Taborax. Hope's Demise. So we got 2 and a black for a demon cleric. It's a legendary creature. Flying 2/2. Taborax Hope's Demise has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, how do we get there? Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Taborax. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card, and if you do, lose a life. Okay, so what do we have going on here? We've got a flying demon. It's a Windrake.
Windrake with types.
It's a cleric itself. So you want this in your cleric deck so that when your clerics die, you draw cards. And then it just gets out of hand. So if this survives, it's just game over, basically. You just have a giant lifelinker. And on the way to making it a giant lifelinker, you can, attack kind of with impunity with your cleric.
This is a must-kill card.
Yes.
Like, any creature you control dies, and this is now a 3/3, which is great. Anything beyond that becomes insane. If you're cantripping your dying clerics, like, this card seems kind of nuts to me.
A-, B+.
I want to go B+. I don't think it's
okay. I'm not quite in that territory yet.
Quite at A-, but
and kind of funny. I noticed with all these cards, like all these rares, we haven't seen any like bomby bombs. Like they've been good, but they haven't been like, oh my goodness, I can't deal with that ever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Which bodes well, I think.
I think so.
All right, what's up next?
Hagra Mauling. This is good. We haven't seen any removal. 2 black for an instant. Costs 1 less to cast if an opponent controls no basic lands. That's not happening. Destroy target creature, and then of course a tapped black source on the other side.
Yeah. So
A minus, like
A minus, yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I guess like it's just like this is you're playing this as a land almost never. But the times that you get to do it, but you can,
and that's the beauty of it.
That's the thing.
All right, next up here, this is kind of an interesting one. Coveted Prize. So this is 4 and a black for a sorcery. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party, you may cast a spell with CMC 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Weird.
Yeah, like you'll play this sometimes in your. I think I am only playing this in
the potential
in that if I have the potential for full party.
So it's going to be
when this is close to Grim Tutor, Demonic Pact, Grim Tutor / Diabolic Tutor territory. I'm not into it. When I have the potential to cast it for 1 and then cast something for free in my multicolor green decks or my black-red decks, then we're talking. And then also what's my thing that I'm tutoring up?
C?
Grade?
C?
Yeah, C, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like, it's, these are generally very, like, the fact that you get your mana back on it is nice, but that's only with the full party, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Read this one.
Drawn on the last Blood Chief. 3 black for a 4/4 vampire cleric with flying. When it attacks, defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that. We haven't returned any creatures from our graveyard. You return that card to the battlefield with a +1 counter on it. That creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. Why does Drana have to be busted every time?
Every single time Drana is busted. Like that's just a rule. It's a design philosophy they have over at WotC. Drana must be busted.
Unnecessary.
A+. No, A. Probably just A.
Just
but like, yeah. Like,
we haven't seen many bombs, he said.
Yeah. And plus, like, you have to attack with this.
That's true, yeah. Attacking with a 5-mana 4/4 is tough.
Yeah.
Alright, what's our last card here?
Alright, last here. More removal. Shadow's Verdict. 3 black for sorcery. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with CMC 3 or less from the battlefield and from graveyards.
There was a card like this in OG Zendikar, right?
Was there?
Consume
the Meek. That was an instance. That right?
Was it? But it was similar, right? It did deal with all things 3.
Yeah, it destroyed all 3 or less. Yeah.
This is fine. It's a bit expensive for a mini sweeper.
Right. Kind of like what's it called? Soot from Strangling Soot? Is that what it's called? No, not
yeah, but -3/-3. Or I guess what was that?
No, that was CMC. That was also CMC. What am I thinking? What's it called?
Ritual of Soot.
Yes, Ritual of Soot.
Yeah.
That was a fine card, but I mean, it's gonna be good against the landfall decks, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's fine.
I don't know how to evaluate this. I think C+ for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think C+ as well. It's a fine card. I give it a C+.
Yeah. Whew. All right, that's black.